We got some updates from James Gunn talking about a lot of things, and this is on this is either Twitter or that masturbate.com, whatever the hell, Mastodon, that people flock to. I don't know. He's been kind of answering questions and whatnot and just kind of responding and everything. So I have some things pulled up right here. First off, this whole thing, you wouldn't think, because we always talk about, it's like, all right, this stuff will reach the entertainment trades, Variety, THR, all those ones right there. But I did not think that Fox News was actually going to be talking about this. Jesus Christ. DC Comics fans demand James Gunn's firing after Henry Cavill exit. Never trust anyone in Hollywood. Man, it's reached Fox News, and apparently it was also on ABC News. Like, whoa, geez. Usually you don't see that in some of this stuff, so that was pretty interesting. That was pretty freaking interesting. But here's one of the things he said on Mastodon. Somebody named Darth DZL said, as long as the studio doesn't override you and your directors at every turn, I, for one, have confidence that you'll actually be making decisions for the DCU that I can get on board with, in my opinion, worth exactly nothing. It was studio interference that derailed the previous attempt at the DCU, when it was called the DCEU. It wouldn't surprise me to learn that Mr. Johns was quite frustrated. Ooh, bringing that guy in the ball cap. And James Gunn responded with, the position is different than it was with Zack, etc. Peter and I are the heads of DC Studios. The only studio interference would be from us. Well, don't interfere with any of those, please, James. That's what, don't get into a new batch of mess, please. Anyways, and then somebody asked right here, Dorkland asked, I'm excited to see the plans that you and Peter have come up with for the DCU going forward. I know this isn't your power, but I hope that we'll see a better coordination with DC Publishing to have series and reprints featuring characters that DC Studios will bring to the public. James Gunn responded with, I am working with my friend Jim Lee. All right, so some coordination when it comes to all mediums of this DC universe right here. Interesting. And then somebody right here asked, Mr. K right here asked, hey James, you and Peter must be having tons of fun planning things out for the DCU other than the Twitter crazies. Were any of the animated DC shows like Justice League Unlimited and Young Justice an inspiration for you when planning out this universe? And he responded with, definitely. So definitely. But everything's inspired by that. I mean, it's just like, okay, there's always been inspirations from the animated world because the animated world has always been pretty great. There's, it's not been weak. There's been a lot of good stuff when it comes to the animated world. So it makes sense. And then when somebody was, we already pretty much said that. I'm excited. Let's see, better coordination public. I'm excited to see so I already pretty much showed that. But anyways, sorry. I made a show right there. But, yep. So, and then one last thing that he actually was talking about too. I knew there was another thing. Somebody actually asked him, are you open to producing any Elseworlds DC projects that aren't set in the DCU? And he said, that is actively happening. Okay, so hopefully, can we expand on the Black Label stuff or whatever the hell, Elseworlds? I mean, that's kind of nice too. So we have Dwayne Johnson talking about the future DC multiverse, and then we have James Gunn talking about doing Elseworld stuff. I'm like, okay, yes, keep on trying to do different things, the things that aren't happening over there in the Marvel world. I mean, I like the sound of that. I mean, of course, you could talk all you want and respond to, spam accounts all you want. I don't know if these accounts are even real. I wouldn't be surprised if they're actually I'm just saying, some of these accounts, I don't know if they're actually real, but hey, as long as they're getting the word out there, but the execution, that's what we need to see, is the execution. And I'm like, okay, I like what I hear, and I like what I hear when it comes to that, because then it's like, okay, that leaves another door open. If you're doing Elseworlds, I mean, who else talked about Elseworlds? Zack Snyder, when he talked about Zack Snyder's Justice League. I mean, to me, I want that just to be canon. But now it's like, well, now that things are happening and things are getting rebooted or soft rebooted or whatever, I would be like, all right, fine, Elseworlds. That's Elseworlds. Perfectly fine. I'm okay with Zack Snyder's Justice League and all that being Elseworlds. That's fine. Perfectly fine by me. But so there you go. There's a little update right there. And yeah. It's interesting, but we'll see. We'll see. It's all about the execution. All about the execution. We're not going to know, really. He also mentioned, too, that apparently we're going to hear about some of the newer other projects besides Superman at the beginning of the year. So, curious to see what they're going to be talking about when it comes to the new year.